Panthers Tetairoa McMillan looks ahead to Travis Hunter matchup. What did Carolina Panthers rookie wide receiver Tetairoa McMillan have to say about the Travis Hunter matchup in Week 1? The Jacksonville Jaguars kick off the preseason against the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend, but the reality is that all eyes are truly on Week 1 versus the Carolina Panthers. And while there will be a host of storylines facing the Jaguars in Week 1, ranging from Travis Hunter's debut to Trevor Lawrence to Liam Coen, there is one matchup that will take center stage: Hunter versus Panthers first-round pick Tetairoa McMillan. Speaking with NFL Network's Tom Pelissero and Cameron Wolfe, McMillan was asked about his Week 1 matchup against Hunter. Here is what he had to say. "Man, I don't know. He's probably going to play both sides, so hopefully he's going to be a little bit more fatigued," McMillan said. This is not the first time the two will match up against one another, doing so in Colorado Buffaloes and Arizona Wildcats matchups in the past. It will remain to be seen just how often Hunter will be on McMillan, considering he will also have a more than healthy dosage of snaps on the offensive side of the ball. But for the snaps when Hunter and McMillan are matched up across from each other, the full focus will be on two of the most talented rookies in the entire draft. Hunter has been rotating between both offense and defense since he was drafted by the Jaguars, practicing at both spots even in the same practice and, last week, in the same scrimmage. "Yeah, we kind of had that set in motion where he was going to be, but he does a lot of that in practice," Jaguars defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile said in practice earlier this week. "One period he may be with us, the next period he's with them. Some days he may start on defense, then he's working offense. His meeting schedule is very much like that, so like I said, the last time I was up here, he's done a really good job with that, and I think Liam's head coach Liam Coen has done a great job coordinating that. It's been demanding on him, but he's responded in every way." Ensure you follow on X, Twitter, at JaguarsOnSI and at _John_Shipley and weigh in on Hunter and Tetairoa McMillan. Please let us know your thoughts on Hunter and Tetairoa McMillan when you like our Facebook page when you click right here. In Charlotte, the summer air was thick with anticipation, not just for another Panthers training camp session, but for a game circled in red ink on the calendar. Wide receiver Tetairoa McMillan, the Panthers' 6 feet 5 inches rising star, had been quietly counting the days until he'd line up across from one of the NFL's most talked about rookies, Jacksonville Jaguars two-way phenom, Travis Hunter. On paper, it's just another regular season clash. To McMillan, it's a test. Hunter's hype had spread like wildfire since draft night, the kind of hype that usually burns out under the league's unforgiving lights. But Hunter wasn't fading, he was everywhere. Playing both wide receiver and cornerback, snagging interceptions one week, catching highlight reel touchdowns the next. The league hadn't seen this kind of versatility in decades, and every opponent was desperate to figure out how to slow him down. Tetairoa, though, wasn't scared. If anything, he was itching for the challenge. The mindset. "I respect what he's doing, I really do," McMillan said after practice, sweat dripping from his brow as cameras crowded in. "But respect doesn't mean I'm gonna let him take food off my plate." For McMillan, this wasn't just another DB to beat. Travis Hunter represented the next generation of NFL swagger, lightning quick, unafraid to talk, and with a growing list of social media clips that could intimidate even seasoned veterans. But T-Mac, as teammates call him, had been through his share of battles. He'd faced lockdown corners in college. He'd taken hits over the middle from safeties who seemed like they were trying to send him into another dimension. He'd been doubted before, labeled as too lanky or not explosive enough. Each doubt, each criticism, had turned into fuel. Hunter was just the latest match to light the fire. Film sessions and strategy. In the days leading up to the matchup, McMillan had been studying tape like a chess master. Travis Hunter's game, he noticed, was a blend of instincts and pure athleticism. Unlike most corners, Hunter thrived in chaos. He baited quarterbacks into throwing his way, then punished them. He disguised his coverage, switching from press to off-man in a blink. "He's not a robot," McMillan said, clicking pause on a slow-motion replay during a late-night film grind. "Most corners? You can read him like a book. Hunter? He's like 3 books stacked on top of each other and they're all in different languages." The plan wasn't to overpower Hunter, few could. Instead, McMillan wanted to manipulate him. Use his own aggressiveness against him. Fake a cut inside, then burst to the sideline. Sell a stutter step deep route, only to break off for an easy out. Every move had to be deliberate. The locker room buzz. The Panthers' locker room was electric that week. Teammates were quick to throw in their predictions. Some joked about how many clips of McMillan versus Hunter would end up on ESPN's Instagram page. Others offered playful trash talk. "Don't let him put you on a highlight reel," joked quarterback Bryce Young, grinning as he laced up his cleats. McMillan just laughed. "If I'm gonna be on a highlight reel," he said, "it's gonna be mine." Head coach Frank Reich, ever the diplomat, avoided fanning the flames publicly. But privately, he admitted to staff that this was a measuring stick game for his young receiver. "You want to be the guy," Reich said, "you have to beat the guy." The game day build-up. Bank of America Stadium was buzzing by kickoff. The matchup had been hyped all week, and you could feel the anticipation ripple through the stands. The first time McMillan and Hunter lined up opposite each other, there was an audible murmur from the crowd. Hunter crouched low, eyes locked on McMillan like a predator sizing up its prey. McMillan just smirked, adjusting his gloves. "You ready for this?" McMillan asked, his voice low enough so only Hunter could hear. "Always," Hunter replied. The whistle blew. The first half. Early on it was chess. McMillan tested short routes, quick slants, seeing how Hunter reacted. Hunter shadowed him perfectly, forcing tight windows for Young to throw into. One pass slipped just over Hunter's fingertips into McMillan's hands, a small victory. Hunter clapped in frustration but nodded in respect. On the next series, Hunter got his revenge. McMillan tried to shake him with a double move, but Hunter read it like yesterday's newspaper, jumping the route for a near interception. McMillan jogged back to the huddle, shaking his head. "This is gonna be fun," he muttered. The turning point. Late in the third quarter, with the Panthers down by 4, McMillan saw the perfect opportunity. Hunter had been biting hard on inside routes all game. McMillan lined up wide, sold the slant with everything he had, head fake, shoulder lean, quick burst. Hunter bit. In that instant, McMillan exploded upfield. Bryce Young, recognizing the separation, launched a perfect spiral. The ball dropped into McMillan's hands, and he galloped 47 yards before being dragged down at the 5-yard line. The stadium erupted. Hunter could only shake his head, a grin tugging at the corner of his mouth. "You got me," he admitted as they jogged back.